So, um, just close your eyes and go inwards. Reflect on your day. What have you been doing today? And you can, if you're not sitting in a cross-legged position, you can have your feet down on the ground about a hip's width apart. The shoulders are aligned with the hips, and imagine your spine is just a string of pearls of light that's stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. And just lengthen your spine, putting some space in between those vertebrae. Take a nice deep breath. And be aware of sounds in your environment. Try not to follow them with the mind. And then just gradually, slowly become cognizant of the thoughts that are arising. So it's almost like we have this constant buzz going on in the back of our mind of thoughts. We're constantly having information coming in. We're constantly, at the same time as information is coming in, and we're processing it, or we're doing tasks, or we're planning for the future. It's like we're doing a million and one things at once with our mind, with our brain. Our brain is taking care of all the physiological. And just notice if you just try and slow it all down. And let's just take 4 breaths here. Just breathe in. And breathe in for a count of 4 if you like. Pause and then exhale for a count of 4. And 3 more. That's all it takes to slow everything down. And then maybe you can categorize the thoughts that are arising in the mind, thinking, ruminating, planning. And then bring to mind all the people of your life. Our loved ones we don't like, and then our strangers. And remember, they can all change place at any time. They're all equal. They all want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And they all have someone on the planet who loves them. Even if it's not a human being, maybe it's a dog or a squirrel or something. I don't think there's anyone that's completely alone. Maybe. Anyway, just they're all equal. I think we'll do this meditation for this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. And I just wanted to mention the name of a friend, one of my friends in the yoga community, her sister just passed away. And she went all the way to New York to look after her, put her in a sort of retirement home, and then came all the way back to San Francisco. And then the sister passed away yesterday. And she has to go all the way back again. And she herself is almost 80. So we think about people who've having kind of difficulties in their own lives as well. That's quite a lot to deal with at that age. And heartbreaking as well. So just think about all the people who've left this planet this week on their journey, on their next journey. So I think we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything that we have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And just remembering there is no negativity that can't be purified. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we can't bear the thought of the future suffering that we will experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. And we're not needing Buddha to forgive us, Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're not looking for a higher power. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon Vajrasattva's methods. So, imagine this beautiful Buddha above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit, made of beautiful, radiant white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has this beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart. The left arm is underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And they're crossed, and this represents enlightenment. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have a little section here on compassion. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So we think particularly of people we may have harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you, the grief they've caused you, is going to result as suffering for them in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is a purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all our kind of gossip and angry speech, harsh speech, all this kind of rabbiting on about nothing speech, useless, and lying, talking about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitam Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra Ah Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita dita me boa sitokaya me boa sipokaya me boa Anarakta me boa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Dita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything except benefit others with your speech now, including yourself. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So just imagine all the light. When you flick on the switch, the light comes and dispels all the negativity, all the darkness. So imagine the same thing. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra and dispels all the negativity of your mind. And just really imagine this is happening. All our attachment and neediness and rumination and anger and depression, resentment, jealousy, bitterness, grudges, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita dita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think now there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. And imagine the Vajrasattva again, very happily sending light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kamasita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami musa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dina meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan, sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata aham pe, Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita, dina meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata aham pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dina meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata aham pe So now feel completely purified and imagine there's just not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And here's our fourth step in the purification process. And this is this determination to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old stuff over and over again. So at some point, we've got to make a decision. We have to take responsibility. So it kind of comes off the back of regret. Regret kind of implies taking responsibility or wanting to take responsibility. So think of something you've been working on. Please rejoice in your efforts. It's wonderful. And think of something that you'd like to work on, that you're focusing on right now. And imagine Vajrasattva is delighted, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are one. So now Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, whatever level your mind can cognize emptiness, just place it there for a moment. So we can just think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. We can just think that maybe not everything that appears to us is exactly as we're seeing it. There's many things we don't know. So let's just dedicate all the positive energy we've created doing this practice to all living beings and think May all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this meditation ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's do the next 3 verses of the Manjushri, wherever Michael is. Who's doing it? Have you got it? You've got it. Okay. Shayla's got it. We're doing 3 verses at a time. We could be finished in 3 weeks. Is that
right there, top of page 4.
that we're up to? So this is for the swift return of lamas of Rinpoche, brandishing in their hands their mighty vajras, the tips of which emit intensive light, great benefactors to all living beings through skill, through insight, and through great compassion. With pleased and happy attitudes, with joy, their bodies, those of wrath or deities, protectors who assist the Buddha's deeds, their bodies bowing reverently, paid homage to the true awakened one, protector, blessed one, Tathagata, and joining his 2 palms respectfully, he said before the Lord the following. So you have to come back tomorrow night to find out what it was he said. This is how the marketing industry works here in the United States, very clearly.
You gave us a cliffhanger, Venerable.
Oh, yeah, totally did. Just like Netflix. Okay, so let's just dedicate all the merit we've created to the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all of our precious teachers, that they may live long and continue to teach. Okay, thank you so very much, everyone. Lots of love, and I will see you all. I will not be leading tomorrow morning. Venerable Rabina will be, and I will see you there, though, for those of you who are coming. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow night. Okay, thanks, everyone. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.